Hi, my name is Maya Mesa, and I am an AWC employee, but also a Arizona Western College alumni. So when I started here at Arizona Western College, it was some time ago, and I feel like I've grown a lot. So there's a good chance you might have seen me at tabling events, with our mascot, with a bunch of other community events that we do here at the college. But not only am I a proud alumni and a proud employee of Arizona Western College, but I'm also a proud product of our K through 14 school system here in our neighborhood. So, yay! So I started off at Desert Mesa Elementary School, and then I actually learned about college from a field trip I took to here at Arizona Western College, so that was really fun. And I think that was the first time I ever learned about college, and I didn't know that was a possibility for me until something like that, and I thought it was really cool, and I liked that there were so many older people getting to do what they wanted to do with their futures. And afterwards, I went to Castledome Middle School, Gila Ridge High School, and all of that led me here to Arizona Western College. So from the beginning, AWC has been woven in my story, whether I knew it was or I understood that it was, right from the start. I really started feeling like everything was falling into place my senior year of high school when my English teacher said that I should be a part of the Matador Ambassador program. She said it was because she noticed I really liked helping other students out and because she noticed I like to talk a lot. So she said it would be good for me, and I really felt like it was. So I think that, and like looking back at that, I think that was the first time I actually invested in myself and my future. So from that point forward, I made it a priority to stay as involved as I possibly could, whether it was with the AWC Matador Ambassador Program, with our first TEDx Club, or even as a part-time employee at Arizona Western College. Everything that I went through at AWC and all of the help that I got from the college and the community has helped me immensely, and I don't think I would be the person that I am today. The college community that Dr. Corr, faculty, staff, and even the community that other students have built have helped me gain opportunities and helped me find out what I wanted to do with my future. And now, standing on the other side as a full-time employee, now I work with admissions and I help to open doors for students like me, and I feel privileged to give back to the same community that helped shape who I am today. Through my work here at the college, working with incoming students or with our high school students, I've seen firsthand how much of an impact we have on early college students, traditional students, and non-traditional students through the college. My journey is living proof that strong K through 14 partnerships can help, and what our work really matters. It matters a lot to students and what they're planning on doing with their futures. I hope that as a college, we continue to strive to transform lives through education and partnerships to create thriving communities, and none of that would be possible without all of you and all of the work that everybody here puts into it. So thank you so much. And I'd like to introduce Dr. Corr. Yay! Down this way.
First of all, everyone, thank you so much for taking time. You know, when we organize this, you don't know who's going to show up on a Tuesday afternoon. So I thought for a second, you know, Dr. Diaz and I might just be chatting to a couple of close friends, but it's just really heartwarming to see this. What you've just witnessed is a tradition we started 10 years ago. We begin all our gatherings with a student, and we end all our gatherings with a student, because we always want to make sure we're keeping their voices front and center. So we'll finish the day with hearing from our Student Government Association president, and I appreciate us getting started. I could go on. I'm a little intimidated. Dr. Diaz, you know, I'm not sure what I'm in store for, but there'll be a couple of doctors on stage here, but only one that you would want to remove your appendix. So who's ready to get started? I am. Let's go ahead and do this.
If you see me in an operating room, please run the other way. You don't want it to be. All right, Dr. Corr, outside and all throughout this building, we see 10 years of transformation. What makes you think of the future? What does that bring to you, that 10 years of transformation?
Yeah, it's one of those important milestones, right? And that's why we've stopped and decided to pause. So when I think of the past decade, well, I think of my very first day. We start work at 7. It was tough to sleep the night before. You know, I tossed and turned. I got to the office about 6:30, just ready to go, and then realized I didn't have keys to my office. And stood in the hallway for a half hour until someone let me into my office, and I was able to get some keys. But I take a look at the last decade and, just images pop into your head. Graduation, nurses pinning, LEADA graduations, groundbreakings, ribbon cuttings, all those kind of big momentous occasions that mark major achievements. But I think if I just stopped and reflected on the last 10 years, I would think about, just times hanging out with Student Government Association and drawing inspiration from what they do. I'll think back to endless hours spent in cabinet and how I frequently just lose control of that group and we giggle and laugh and joke. I'll think of national championships, visits with Jerry Smith and having a beer and a burger after a victory. So a lot of great memories for sure.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I think we have a video to actually look at some of that. So we'll cue video number 1.
All right.
Before AWC, college felt very intimidating. It felt like something that I wasn't going to be able to do or accomplish.
College felt like a very scary place, and I just felt like I was not going to belong.
There was a lot of uncertainty for me. I come from a homeschooled background. Going into this different environment with different, social situations and, how the classes are going to go, it was just something that was foreign to me entirely.
I think AWC exists for all types of students. We have all walks and all different types of students around campus. I think we exist for all students.
AWC is for every kind of student that there is, whether they are in middle school all the way through our wonderful winter visitors that come to our area every year.
What almost stopped me from going to college was the affordability, not being able to go to top universities because of the cost. And here, I'm able to live at home, so I'm able to just come to the college and it's really affordable.
Having the support of the advisors, having the support of the instructors, having their support meant a lot.
I think once you're a Matador and you've got that sense of belonging, I know it's our hope and our goal that we help create partnerships, help you open doors, and help you thrive for the rest of your life.
AWC was the right choice for me. I figured that out when I was in training to become an ambassador. I saw the community of people, how welcoming they were, and how much they really want to help us succeed.
After the first couple of courses, I think that's when it started to feel like I could do it.
Friendliest environment I think I've ever had with some of these places like the radio station and the TV station. Some of these staff are students, and the environment that creates is a form of relatability. You walk in, you see a fellow student, and you're thinking, wow, they're doing these great things. It makes you feel like I can do those things, and that's the kind of environment that AWC provides from pretty much every class I've been to.
I think AWC is meant for everybody. There's elderly people here, there's young people, I've seen children here. Everybody is so welcoming and loving and willing to have a conversation with you and be your friend.
When students feel like they belong here, they thrive. They are able to dream beyond what they might have ever expected themselves to be able to do when they have a sense of belonging here at AWC.
There are so many paths that our students take to arrive here at Arizona Western College. Some students come straight out of high school. Many of them first generation, in fact, most of them first generation. Others come to us after service in the military. Others arrive at Arizona Western College as they look to re-career, maybe change careers or advance in their careers. So no matter what path a Matador takes to become a student at Arizona Western College, you can be assured that they will be supported and encouraged and challenged during their time here at AWC.
We made a small pivot to our microphones while you were all watching the video. Dr. Corr, over the past decade, AWC really is in a region that's underrepresented in the nation, in the state. What do you think of when you think of who this college exists for and what they do?
Yeah, well, first of all, students. I'm just thrilled to see we've got, again, we'll begin and end with students. We got students in front here. This college is so vital to the communities that we serve, right? It just plays a pivotal role. So we always think of students first, but we also pride ourselves on being a college of the community, which means it's also the college for those fourth graders who participate in I'm Going to College. It's for the high school students who want to get some dual credit in early college, who aspire to go on to higher education, whether here at AWC or elsewhere. It's for our community partners, right? Business and industry. It's for our the university students who either want to or have to stay in Yuma to earn a baccalaureate degree. So the scope and reach of the college is really enormous, but that's what makes it challenging. So on all those fronts, and probably many others, but first and foremost, we take pride in keeping our students and their needs and their aspirations first and foremost.
And it's truly been transformational for so many people. And Dr. Corr, I had heard that you were the first in your family to attend college. So can you talk about how that changed your vision when you came here to work at AWC?
Yeah, I'm absolutely proud of the fact that I'm a first-generation college student. I'm thrilled that Dr. Corr, Dr. Laura Corr, my wife, is here, and she is a first-generation student. And yeah. I'll be comparing my applause with the applause Laura got, so don't let me down. That's a majority of our students. 75% more or less of our students are the first in their family to try to earn a college degree. And let me tell you my story very briefly. My mom and dad did not graduate, did not attend college. They're high school graduates and went on. My older sister graduated high school and went to work. My older brother graduated high school and went to work. My older sister paid my tuition to go to a Catholic high school outside of the city. I grew up in Chicago, on the south side of Chicago. Not the best academic or educational environment. She paid my tuition to go to a Catholic all-boys high school in the suburbs. That changed my life. That changed my worldview because I was surrounded by guys and I felt I can compete with these folks. And they just talked about going to college. It wasn't if, it was where and what scholarships they were competing for. It changed my worldview. But then I had to go off to college. So I enrolled in 1981. I think I just gave away my age, at Bradley University in Peoria, Illinois. And I'll remember the day like it was yesterday. Driving into the parking lot, I was going to move into the dorms, and we had, in my dad's old beat-up car, a mattress tied to the top of the roof. Guess what, guys? You don't need to bring your own mattress. We didn't know. We didn't know. I swear to God, I wanted to turn around and go home, because I was that guy whose family came in with a mattress on top of the car. It mustered all the energy I could do to walk through that door and compete and prove myself. But it also came with the same pressure that so many of our students feel, to be the first. You can't fail. There's so many folks depending on you. So we have changed that stigma, that fear, that uncertainty of being a first-generation student to something we celebrate. Outside my door is a placard that many faculty and staff here, it says, I am first gen. We want our students, when they walk into an office, they're probably, maybe, walking into an office of someone who's also first gen, and we want them to feel comfortable. We want to celebrate the fact that 3 out of 4 of our students are first-generation students. And it's amazing that graduation, when so many of our students walk across the stage with a first-gen stole. I am first-gen. And it's student after student after student. And when we have graduation here, it's down the street at the football stadium, and it's packed. Why? Because when you have a graduation in Yuma, you don't tell a graduate, here are 4 tickets, determine who you want to come. No, that's not going to work. Ms. Abed is laughing. Because the whole clan is coming, because you're the first. They're all celebrating. So we've seen students walk in with 20, 30, 40 aunts, uncles, abuela, tio. Everyone is coming along for the ride. because that's what it means to be first generation. I carry that with me. I met with some student leaders, as I do frequently, and I shared my story, and everyone gets a kick out of the mattress and all that other stuff, but it's a journey that we need to understand 3 out of 4 of our students are on, but we're gonna support them. And we're gonna guide them, and we're gonna help them, we're gonna challenge them, and they're gonna get across the stage, and they're gonna bring 40 people with them, and we're gonna have a hell of a party each May to celebrate their accomplishments.
And I've heard you talk a lot about how many, the numbers have just multiplied at these first generation. It definitely has changed the culture of college going in Yuma. How did you know that shift was happening? Like, what signals were you seeing where you're like, it's happening? What my vision was of bringing dual credit, concurrent credit, first generation families to the table, what signals were those?
Yeah, it was, obviously the inspiration of our district governing board, where 9 years ago, we created our BHAG, our big, hairy, audacious goal of doubling baccalaureate attainment in Yuma and La Paz County by 2035. Now, the first thing you do as a new president is you set an ambitious goal that will be measured after you retire. So that was very strategic on my part. We will look back 9 years from now and potentially blame Dr. Dewan if we didn't get there. But we certainly wanted to set that audacious goal. And it was super important to do that. And we knew we would not get there by simply doing the same thing that we've always done, the traditional, let's set out a table at the high school cafeteria and hope that a first generation student comes over and seeks some information and maybe goes home and fills out the financial aid form and maybe arrives at our step in August. No, we needed to take a very different approach, and that involved, it centers around this early college. And I'm so pleased to see Superintendent Brianza here and former Superintendent Thompson here, our amazing partners at Yuma Union High School District, because we want that college-going experience to begin in high school. And from the day the district governing board approved the $25 a credit hour tuition for our early college students still in high school, our dual enrollment has increased by 1,026%, tenfold. That's amazing. And then as a result of this amazing growth of dual enrollment, students in high school see themselves as, it's not a question of if, but where will I attend? We had 100 plus students last May graduate with their associate degree before they walked across their high school stage with the high school diploma. I bet that number will increase again this year. But even if you're not earning an associate degree, you're earning 12, 15, 21, 24 credit hours, and in your mind, you're a semester or two in. You're going to college. And here's a bit that I'm super proud of. Arizona Western College has the highest yield from our high school graduates. That's the percentage of high school graduates who enroll at the community college within 1 year of graduation. We are 10, 11 points ahead of the next college in the state of Arizona. Why is that? Because they're already a college student. They've already proven they're academically capable, which is often for a first generation student, the very first barrier they need to come over, the mental barrier. Then they get here and they're a semester or two ahead, and it's inevitable that they're graduating, and it's just been a game changer for us. And I just love our dual enrollment. I'll also share, we had to break some traditions. There were plenty of folks who were content with the narrow path to dual enrollment, who we've trusted our high school partners, whether it's Yuma Catholic or Yuma Union or Antelope or up in Parker, to say that a fully credentialed high school teacher with 3 years of experience in the discipline, we're going to credential you to teach our 100 level dual enrollment classes. We're going to trust our educational partners that they'll maintain that integrity. And we're 4 or 5 years into that, and they've held up their end of the bargain. And you watch, that program is going to continue to explode. It's going to continue to change the mindset of generations of students here in Yuma and La Paz County. And by golly, we're probably going to reach our BHAG of doubling baccalaureate attainment.
And I know many of you have heard me say this before to Dr. Corr, but I have one of my sons doing this, right? And it's been amazing to watch just the culture shift even at the high school from when his freshman to now. Even that's only 3 years of a huge culture shift, and just the impressive nature of the presence that Arizona Western has with our students. And if it's in my face, it's in all the other kids' parents' faces too. So I appreciate that, Dr. Corr, and it's really changing lives.
Awesome.
So with that, we'll cue video number 2.
Our partnership with Arizona Western and those students who come here, there's a real advantage right away because they are already integrated into our culture. We see them as a regular part of our team. So it's not them and us. It clearly is a collective effort.
Well, we have a good connection with the industry group so that our students can visit them and learn from them as well. And it is really important for hands-on experience, but also that they looking at the diverse opinion from the industry.
Here at Arizona Western College Law Enforcement Training Academy, we train recruits to go out onto the road and work for their agencies. We currently serve 24 different law enforcement agencies throughout the state, including 5 tribal nations.
Because of the partnership between Onvida and Arizona Western College, I get to have hands-on experience. There's so many things that we learn here and we apply it there. The technical skills that we learn, it's very similar to what we see at the hospital. It's really hard to not succeed here. You have so much time to learn the material. You get to set up appointments with your professors. And even on the days I go to Onvida Hospital, I learn from those nurses as well who are also graduates of AWC nursing program.
I think being a part of the Ag Mentorship Program as an Ag major here at AWC has definitely prepared me. I was partnered with an industry professional where, again, I got to get that hands-on experience, that hands-on learning with real-life situations to go to work with your mentor and be with them side by side, seeing what their day-to-day looks like in the field that you want to be in. It plays such an impactful role because you're not just learning from a textbook, you're learning from someone who's already in that position.
Fairly new part of our partnership is really sitting down to say, okay, Onvida Health, what are your health needs and what do you see as a health needs moving into the future so we can start creating a workforce that matches that. So a lot of the innovation that's come from this partnership most recently has been the innovative side of let's create now what positions that we need, the workforce that we need for tomorrow.
So right now we are averaging about 24 recruits per class, which allows us to have a lot of one-on-one with the recruits, and that has been very successful as we have a 100% pass ratio, being ranked one of the top 3 academies in the state. We have been able to prove that our recruits leaving LEDA are one of the best officers in the entire state.
We have an 8-semester plan, and then we are just making 2+2 program to go get their bachelor's degree if they are interested in. We try to understand what their goal is and what they like to pursue, transfer or help them to professionally grow. Right after graduation, they can just say, hey, I'm coming from AWC, and so that I know this and that. And Yuma is just one of the biggest agricultural hub here, which is going to be perfect compared to many other students across the states.
Those videos are great. And I have to say, as a member of the Onvida crew, I just have to say our partnership is so important for our hospital, and we're happy to have your students rotating with us, and we look forward to what's to come in our Health Career Center that is already taking shape over there on 8th Avenue. Dr. Corr, student success here at the college takes many forms. Some are academic, some are athletic. There's a lot of extracurricular activities they can do here on campus. How do you define success for the students that come here?
Yeah, and I don't. The students do, right? The students come to us with a lot of different needs, and I'm pleased to say that we're at a point in the growth of this institution, where we've moved beyond access, right? The conversation earlier was, let's get folks into college, let's provide access to college. We've moved beyond that to success, right? We want our students to have an amazing student experience. I'm really pleased and proud of the fact that Arizona Western College is the only community college in the state of Arizona, maybe in the nation, though I'm not aware of another one, that has a student experience statement that we post around campus, and it promises our students will have an amazing student experience measured by a number of things. And we don't always live up to that, but we tell our students what to expect from us, and when we fall short, let us know. So yes, for most students, it's earning a degree and getting a job. Others, it's earning a degree and transferring. Some, it's just earning some credits so they can get a promotion. But we also want them to have an amazing student experience while they're here. And we're doing that. The Matador Activity Center right behind us, this beautiful student building, just filled with life, you know, and pool tables and ping pong and a sleep capsule. I don't know if you've ever seen one of these. You can crawl in there and take a nap. I can't tell you how many times I've pulled Brian Doak out of there to get him to cabinet. But it's just an opportunity for students to gather. There's little study spaces. KWC is over there. They can listen to me. So we want our students to have that amazing experience right here in Yuma. If they choose to go to Tempe, Tucson, or Flagstaff at some point, that's great. But if they want to or need to stay in Yuma, we also want them to have those opportunities right here. We just had, you know, a visit in Starbucks. It's just bustling and students studying and hanging out, and it's just a great environment, and we look to build on that.
You're setting that bar very high for when they transfer. One of the things I've heard you talk about a lot actually is the transfer center and the students being able to transfer from AWC to other four-year universities. Could you explain what that means to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Transfer is part. It's part of what we're designed to do here, and you know, I don't think it's an overstatement to say we are dominating in the transfer space. Over the past 3 years, our number of students transferring to one of the 3 state universities has increased by 14%. That's in an era where the rest of the state is down 10%. And you know, that's not the only area where we dominate. We are the fastest growing community college in the state of Arizona. That is whether you measure it at 3 years, 5 years, or 10 years. That is an amazing period of sustained record growth across the enterprise. Again, that's not what we measure success by, because we've also had the record number of credentials awarded. Last year, we awarded more degrees and certificates than we had ever awarded in the 63-year history of this institution. And this, yeah, go ahead, Lynn Pancrezi. Member of AWC's Hall of Fame, by the way. And that's how we measure it, right? And this May, when we tally up this academic year, I am certain we're going to be beyond last year's number. But transfer is an important feature. And when we can partner with our 3 state universities to offer baccalaureate and master's level courses right here on this campus, it eliminates that transition, right? For many students, moving away to Tempe, finding an apartment, commuting back and forth with the car is either financially or just personally not what they want to do. And 3 or 4 years ago, there was a state law passed that allows community colleges to offer baccalaureate degrees. Many have, many do, but it's in 1 or 2 disciplines. Maybe Maricopa might have 5 or 6 different disciplines. We've chosen a different path because by partnering with our three state universities, there are dozens and dozens and dozens of major options right here in Yuma for students who want to or have to stay. And I'll tell you, most want to. They want to be at home. They want to save money. They want to keep their part-time job. They want to keep their dog, their boyfriend, maybe not even in that order. But it's so important, this educational ecosystem that we have built here in Yuma that allows humans and from Yuma County and La Paz County to get what they want to do right here. So I'm super proud. I see Martha Cordova here, who runs our transfer center. We're the only ones who have a transfer center. It's populated by all 3 state universities and AWC. It's a one-stop shop for folks to come and figure out where they want to head, and either before or after an experience here at AWC.
Thank you for that. Moving on just a little bit of topics, I was told by your staff that one of the things that you did your first few months here was you felt it really important to create a strategic plan. And creating a strategic plan, it's my understanding you've had 2 large strategic initiatives and large plans for the organization. How do you think that impacted where Arizona Western went?
Yeah. When you said my staff told you something, I held my breath, but that's okay. That's that one's public knowledge. 10 years ago, we had no strategic plan. So you're not certain if you're making progress if you don't have a plan, if you don't have an outcome, if you don't have a shared vision. And a strategic plan does just that. It brings folks to the table to share their thoughts, right? To share their shared vision and to create a shared understanding of where we're headed, how we want to get there, and what success looks like. And, that's where, again, I lean on the leadership of the district governing board. They approved that strategic plan. And we did that about 8 years ago, the first one. And it was a 7-year strategic plan. Last year, we created a new plan for 3 years. Part of that is we learned 7 years is just way too long. Things move way too quickly. So we're 1 year into our second strategic plan, making amazing progress. So it sets the understood goal, and you're able to measure your progress towards that goal. And it helps with budgeting. We're in the middle of budget season right now. What's in the strategic? Everyone has requests, and there's never enough money for all the requests. But what's tied to the strategic plan, because that's where the limited dollars are going to go.
Thanks. And with that, I know that partnering is a huge initiative of yours. I know you've partnered with us at Onvida, with Ag, with other educational departments. Why is that so important to you, and what impact do you think it's had on Arizona Western?
It's been dramatic, the impact. So important are partnerships that it's in our mission statement, right? Transforming lives through education and partnerships to create thriving communities. Ultimately, we all want to live in a thriving community, right? And no one entity can create a thriving community. It takes partnerships. Dollars are limited, right? So you really do need to find partners, create partners, sustain partnerships. There's none better than Onvida Health. I'm thrilled that Dr. Bob Trenchel's here, and you've been an amazing partner. Our 3 state universities have been amazing partners. Yuma Union, it goes on and on. The ag industry, YPG. I'm gonna leave out folks and just know I love all my partners equally, okay? But it has been super important to us. We built a residence hall, Tienza Hall. That was done, most our other dorms are 2 stories, that's 3 stories. That 3rd story is paid for by NAU through ABOR because we have such shared educational programming that we wanted to make that available. Those partnerships are with our local elected officials. Also, I'm just super proud that we have partnered with Governor Ducey and Governor Hobbs. We've partnered with Senator Fernandez and Senator Dunn, Lynn Pancrezi and Jonathan Lines, Representative Pena and Representative Sandoval. You see what I'm doing there, guys? There's one of each in all those examples. And that's been our approach. We are willing to partner with any willing partner who comes to the table with the desire to create a thriving community. We've done that at the state level, Office of Economic Opportunity and Arizona Commerce Authority. We've partnered with on grants. So, yeah, it's super important simply because we don't have the resources nor the capacity to create a thriving community alone. We need to reach out, and if there's someone willing to partner who has a desire to serve Yuma and La Paz County, they have a partner in Arizona Western College. Partnerships are tough, right? Both need to feel they're getting something out of the partnership. It takes communication. It takes a lack of ego. It takes a willingness to share credit. And we've found that with all our partners. I hope I'm not going to embarrass Superintendent Brienza here, but I got an email yesterday that slightly irritated me. And I picked up the phone and called Tim. He called back 2 seconds later, talked right through it, irritation gone. Problem understood, solution in sight. Why is that? Because we trust each other, we communicate with each other, we know that we're all in this together. So absolutely, partnerships so critically important to what we're doing.
I think partnerships are important for a good ecosystem that support all of the students' desires for wanting to explore options. And I think that's what's great about Arizona Western is there's options here. All right, with that, we're going to cue video 3.
So Yuma County is the third fastest growing county in Arizona. That means we as a college have to make sure we meet the workforce demands. Once we understand what those community needs are, it helps us build a better workforce.
Thinking about employer first, student first, we created a model where we can get the training and then have students be workforce ready as soon as we can. Most of the time, students were going through the institution or colleges for 2 years, sometimes 4 years. Entrepreneurial college made possible have them have their dream job within a year or less. And we are proud of training more than 300 to 400 students within last 2 years and have them successfully employed in our region. That's very rare to see in other community colleges where we think about how we're gonna do our customized training based on the workforce need and our employer need.
The 4 buildings that we've built in my tenure here at AWC has been the MAC, the De Anza Residence Hall, the LIDA building, and now the Welton Workforce Accelerator. And these new buildings are setting a new standard at AWC and in Yuma in general. These are top-notch, state-of-the-art buildings that are just beautiful spaces for the students, and they were all built with 100% student input, so they're really tailoring and meeting the needs of the students. We're rethinking the whole student experience, not just one class, not just lunch, not just an after-hours activity, but it's the entire student experience.
AWC is the second largest employer in Yuma, Arizona. We have more than 300 faculty who are brilliant, whether they have master's or PhD prepared. Whenever you have education, there is an innovation, and we are ready to go to the next level.
AWC is growing, and I know we're moving into a new decade under new leadership. I think that just means that AWC will be able to provide even more opportunities for our community, and bigger and better things are just coming down the pipeline.
I see continued growth at AWC with a focus on the student experience and the students' needs. There will be future growth coming up, and I'm excited to be part of it.
They will be proud to say, I am a proud Matador, and they will bring their kids to go through this college. They will never think twice to send their kid out of Yuma. They always feel that this is a place they want to send their kids, their grandkids. That's what I feel like. Everyone will come to the campus and have a smile on their face and say, this is a place I want to be.
Actually, I'm going to piggyback after Dr. Dewan's statement there at the end, that people want to be part of Arizona Western, and that status of how Arizona Western has changed in the state and seen within our community has changed immensely. My question to you is what made you push that? What was the spark that moved it from just staying as a Arizona Western, a community, rural location, and now to being on the national and state level?
Yeah, I think it's a mindset. I really do think it's a mindset. We are not just a rural community college. We are not just a college. We're Arizona Western College. We are brilliant. I remember when I was considering applying for this job, I got a brochure and it showed Yuma and it says 3 hours from Phoenix or 3 hours from San Diego. Well, if those places were so great, I would go live there, right? I want to be in Yuma. I want this to be the center of things. And it's a mindset that says we're not just anything. We can be innovative. We can push the boundaries. We can take chances. We can be disruptive. We can hire and retain the very best faculty. It became a culture, it became a mindset that we're gonna push boundaries and we're gonna challenge things and we're gonna play on a state and national stage. We're gonna punch above our weight class, if you will. I remember when I had the opportunity to be appointed by Governor Ducey to the State Board of Education. I ended up serving 9 years there and the last 4 as president. I brought the State Board of Education to Yuma. It had never left Phoenix. And I helped those folks understand that I-8 runs both ways. You can take it west out to Yuma. And we had a meeting here, and we highlighted the educational ecosystem here. We had our educational partners and our business partners, and we showcased it. So it's a mindset, it's the innovation, it's the execution on that innovation, and then I took, I'm thrilled with these videos, and I'm always thrilled with all the amazing work of our marketing and communications team. And then you market yourself. You tell people about yourself. You don't hide your brilliance. You're able to go to conferences and make presentations and share what you're doing. And I'm really pleased that we've been invited by the state of Arizona and the past 2 governors to be on trade missions to Belgium, to the Netherlands, to Taiwan. We serve on state-level commissions, Dr. Dewan, myself, many others. I feel as though it's part of telling our story in Yuma and demanding the attention that we deserve here in Yuma and bringing to the forefront just the amazing things happening in Yuma and La Paz County.
You've done great work. It's truly transformed. And speaking about transformation, is the physical space here is much different than it was when I was in high school, and I'm not telling you when that was. But the space is just different. The buildings are different, but I think as Arizona Western has physically expanded its space, it also expands expectations of what the organization can do. So how did you decide what to invest in and how to grow?
Yeah, and it's got to be about that student experience, Dr. Diaz, because it's not about more brick and mortar. And some would argue you need less brick and mortar in an era of online instruction and other things. I'm not sure that's true. One of the greatest, kind of accomplishments, we were touring folks through, again, the Matador Activity Center, the MAC, right behind us, and someone said, wow, this is like a building you would find at ASU. And I thought, yes, you would. It's an amazing facility for our students and our community. And why not? Why not those students who are here in Yuma? Why don't they deserve that exact same experience? So it's really part of that. And I know on that last clip, Steve Eckert has identified, some of the other new buildings. Our new Dianza dorm, I think we call them residence hall now. Someone's going to be angry. They're a residence hall. It's an amazing facility. Workout rooms, a movie room, a rooftop terrace, study rooms. It's a great place. It is not the dorm that I moved into at Bradley University in 1981 without the mattress strapped to the roof of the car. But why not? And again, I mentioned Starbucks earlier. We've expanded that twice. It's about 3 times the size of what it used to be. Why? Because the students like to hang out there. Faculty like to hang out there. I love to see faculty meeting with students around a cup of coffee in Starbucks, or departments holding meetings there, or just an impromptu gathering of colleagues here at the college. So facilities matter, and it sets a tone, and I'd really be remiss that the weather's beautiful out there. After this, if you have an opportunity, walk around campus. The grounds are pristine. It's beautiful. Our grounds crew just take great pride in making sure this is a welcoming and beautiful place. And that's for community members too, right? Whether you're just coming on campus to use the library or check out a book or coming here to an event at the Schoening Center or going over to the gymnasium to watch our amazing basketball teams, both in the playoffs this coming week. So we want it welcoming. We've invested in those facilities. I'll also share that the Workforce Accelerator out in Welton, funded by Governor Hobbs, the expansion of it. The Law Enforcement Training Academy, funded by Governor Ducey. DeAnza, again, partly funded by ABOR and our friends at NAU. We've sought those partnerships, and boy, any facility, discussion of facility has to include this amazing healthcare building being built on the campus of Onvida, where we will locate many of our existing and future medical training programs to build that trained workforce that will help create the thriving community that we want. So yeah, facilities are important. We've grown. Our library has been completely renovated and expanded, again, in partnership with our foundation that had received $1 million gift that helped fund that. So in many ways, large and small. And again, I would go back to focus on this is just a beautiful, welcoming, clean campus. Here's my challenge to each of you. God, walk around when we're done here. You find a weed, $10 a weed. You find a weed and bring it to me, because there are none on campus. Boy, I sure hope not. You have to prove it was an AWC weed, not an imported weed. My point is, these grounds are beautiful because we take pride in it. And it's not just these grounds, right? We have campuses in San Luis and Parker and Quartzsite and Welton and downtown and others. So facilities are important, and we're proud of them.
Sounds like we all challenge accepted to find some weeds after this. Financial stewardship is something that we talk a lot about in our board meetings at Onvida, and I know you talk a lot about it here at your Arizona Western board meetings. But this is important not just for future-proofing Arizona Western, but it's important for the students. It's important for stability, it's important for access, and it's important for what comes next. So could you talk a little bit about what this financial stewardship means for you and the discipline of prudent use of resources?
Yeah, happy to. Arizona Western College is a business and a multi-million-dollar business. And unlike private businesses, our primary source of funds are you all. Our local property taxes is about $2 out of every $3 of our funding. And I have been charged for the past decade under the District Governing Board to make very prudent use of each of those dollars. And I'm really proud of the fact that 7 out of the last 8 years, there's been no tax increase from Arizona Western College. And I can pretty much guarantee you that will again be the case this year. Why? Because we know that folks in the community work really hard. And before we extract another dollar from their wallet, we need to make sure that it's an absolute necessity for this college to do so. And through those partnerships that we talked about, and through effective lobbying in Phoenix and elsewhere, I'd also say that we have received federal earmarks for the first time in I think ever, from both Senator Kelly and Senator Sinema, former Senator Sinema. So we've found alternative sources of revenue so that we don't have to burden our local community. That said, we're very conservative in our budgeting. At the same time, making sure that amazing student experience exists, and we always trying to find that fine line. And I get teased a little bit that I often mention, and I will about to mention, that we have a Moody's AAA bond rating. That's a stamp of approval that says this institution is well-resourced, well-run, and we're making effective use of the taxpayers' dollars. So that's a tradition that we have. And to your point, it future-proofs the institution. That becomes part of the muscle memory. That becomes part of how administratively we run the institution. And it gives confidence to the public. It gives confidence to the district governing board. It gives confidence to the students that we're good stewards of those public dollars. So yeah, I'm really proud of our approach fiscally, and it will continue, I'm certain.
Fiscal stability is important, but so are staff, the governing body, your cabinet, and your team that you work with, and frankly, your presence here for 10 years. How do you think that your presence here for 10 years and everyone else's longevity at the organization has allowed you to springboard to where you are now, instead of having constant turnover?
Critical. We would not have had the success that we've had over the past decade. You look around the room. Dr. Trenchel started about 10 years ago. We started about the same time. Mayor Nichols has been in office the entire time. Lynn Pancrazzi, so much of the County Board of Supervisors. You take a look at our university partnerships. Mike Sabbath and NAU was here before I was here. Tanya Hodges served for the vast majority of the decade. There's been tremendous civic stability. The partners have stayed intact. Yuma Union, I keep coming back there. Tim Brienza wasn't superintendent, but he was certainly with Yuma Union. And the transition from Gina Thompson to Tim Brienza helped bring that stability. So the longevity of our community partners, absolutely critical. And then I look to cabinet. Lori Stoft, Brian Doak, were here on cabinet before I started. Other members of cabinet, Ritika Dewan, Kathy Ocampo, were with the institution way before I got here. Ashley Harrington and I have worked closely every day for 9+ years. That's tremendous stability. That's tremendous trust. We've worked together for so long, they know when they're getting the Corr slow no. And that's when I say, let me think about that. Now they know not to even come back because it's actually a no, but that happens over time. That happens through longevity. And then the district governing board, we could not have done what we've done without the stable leadership coming from the district governing board. President Dennis Booth has been on, going back to the fiscal question, a very successful businessman knows his way around a financial spreadsheet, right? So he taught me that I needed to know my stuff before I went into a district governing board. Ms. Olivia Cepeda has been with me the entire time. Ms. Maria Chavoya, the entire time. All three of them in the AWC Hall of Fame. That's tremendous consistency. Dr. Ken McFarland up in Parker in his 6th year on the board. Unfortunately, Mr. Lamb passed a couple of years ago, but he's a 4th AWC Hall of Famer. Amazing consistency. And Dr. Diaz, 10 years is a long time. We've been through a lot, right? Personal tragedy, personal triumph. We were forged by difficulty of COVID and challenges. There's a tremendous bond, there's a tremendous loyalty, and none of this happens without all those pieces. And if we needed to recreate the partnership with Onvida, if the CEO churned over every couple of years, if we had to build academic programs with NAU, but they had a new leader every couple of years, if we were constantly training up cabinet, or the board changed and their priorities changed, none of this happens. So I think the amazing talent of the people working here are amazing students, but you've touched on with that question kind of the secret sauce that bound it all together.
Well, thank you. And we're getting to the end of this conversation now, and I have kind of three, I'm using an audible and adding one of my own today.
Right.
But we have really just three quick questions to ask Dr. Corr as we kind of wrap up.
Is this the lightning round?
Yes.
Okay, keep it quick.
This is
Okay.
the lightning round. So what part of the last 10 years of work changed you personally the most?
Wow. I am certainly fatter, grayer, and more tired than I was 10 years ago. Does that count?
That wasn't what I was expecting out of your mouth.
You know, a deep, honest, and abiding appreciation for our students. Their passion, their perseverance. They work part-time, they have family obligations, they take buses, they grind, they just grind. Often, you know, with that first generation, you know, weight on their shoulder. So I'm just inspired by our students, and I think I always have. I'm in my 34th year in higher ed. I've always been inspired by students, but our students are just a special breed, and I think that's changed me deeply.
Awesome. So in 10 years, when we're sitting here again, and I'm hopefully talking to my dear friend, Dr. Dewan, about her time here in 10 years, what are you hoping that people say about this next chapter? Of course, we will miss you, just so you know.
Yeah. Yeah, well, first of all, invite me in 10 years. I'd love to come back. I think we'll be celebrating another decade of accomplishment under Dr. Dewan's leadership. And what I want everyone to say 10 years from now, looking back, is, gosh, it's been a great decade to be a Matador.
I hear you've kind of coined that, right? Of it's a great day to be a Matador, and even I understand that now. It's a great day to be a Matador. But I think there must be one great memory that stands out to you. What is your most memorable, favorite, or something that just stands out to you as being a moment of being a Matador? So that's my audible question for today.
Thank you for that, Dr. Diaz. It's pretty well documented that I absolutely love graduation. And I remember the first year where our graduation ceremony had grown so large that we, the football stands on either side weren't able to hold on, all the folks coming. And we allowed folks from like the 50-yard line back. And I remember sitting on the stage, and I promise not to get emotional here, but you looked out. It was really cool. It was really cool. There were thousands of people in that stadium and hundreds of graduates, and the sun was setting in the back, and I was up there, a first-generation student who had kind of made a mark. It was very cool.
A first-generation student changing lives. Well, Dr. Corr, it's been very fun interviewing you.
It's been fun.
Getting to know you a little bit better, but really your journey here at Arizona Western. I know that everyone who works here, who is a student here, who has been affiliated or partnered with Arizona Western has truly been honored to work alongside you. So thank you for the work that you've done here at Arizona Western.
Thank you so much.
Okay, as we wrap up, somebody that told me he might tell some jokes. No jokes. Oh, okay. Is our AWC Student Government President, Udadi. Mr. Udadi.
Woohoo!
Good afternoon, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Onyeko Udodi, and a little bit about me. Since from the 8th grade to the 12th grade, I was a student leader. So at school, we had this thing where we would all vote for who we want to be the student leader in each grade, and I was the student leader from the 8th grade to the 12th grade. I also received an award, we call it Yanas of the Year, which is an award given to 2 people, a male and female, out of 4,000 kids. And for you to qualify for this award, you had to be one of 3 things. You had to be most educated, best leader, and the best in sports. Does any one of you want to guess which one I got? I got all 3. Since then, I came to Arizona Western College, which I served as the president for the international club. I later found SGA, and I served as the vice president of the Student Health and Safety. And today, I'm here in front of you guys as the Student Government Association president. Thank you. It has been an honor. It has been an honor to serve in one of the best community colleges I've known, and it was one of the most meaningful journeys of my life. I am an international student, first generation student from South Africa. There was no roadmap at home explaining college or what higher education would mean. When I first received a personal call offering me acceptance to Arizona Western College, that was one of the best days of my life. Because I literally, when I was applying, I started from Maryland till going down in all community college till I found Arizona Western College. And the day they accepted me, I felt seen, because this was one of the fast-growing community college I've ever seen, and I wanted to be part of Arizona Western College because of that. For a student navigating everything on my own, that moment confirmed that I belonged here. I've lived on campus since I arrived at AWC, and I'll never forget watching the Dianza Residence Hall rise from the ground up. I would pass the construction site and see more than just a building. I saw a vision, I saw growth, and I saw a community taking shape. Now this is my favorite part. Now, serving as a resident assistant feels like a coming full circle, right? I will explain that right now. From watching it build, to speaking during the grand opening of the building, to now helping the building, the community inside the building. So what this means is, I was there when it was being built. I was the person who was speaking for the grand opening, and I'm a residential assistant, which means I can work in the building and help the students go. Thank you. That experience has taught me independence, leadership, and what it truly means to create the belonging. This decade of transformation has brought new facilities that truly impact students like me. My goal is to become a nurse, and just to make sure, Dr. Diaz, are you hearing that? Yeah, okay, just to make sure. Not for the title, but for the impact. Because I believe that there's nothing more precious and more beautiful than being there in someone's most vulnerable moment and deciding to serve them anyway. During my CNA and phlebotomy training clinicals at Onvida Health, that really transformed my confidence. I remember walking into the hospital my first day. I was very nervous and questioning whether I was ready. But something powerful happened. Something powerful happened. I wasn't treated like just a student. I was treated like a future healthcare professional, and I was trusted with the responsibility. I learned how to communicate with patients during their vulnerable moment, and I learned how to stay calm under pressure. I learned that compassion is as critical as a clinical skill. And I know most of you that know me are wondering why today I was not wearing my expensive suit. So I saw Dr. Corr smiling, saying for the first time, he looks better. I look better than him. Just today, I completed my phlebotomy training at the clinical with Onvida, hence why I'm wearing my scrubs today. I only share this experience because I'm truly grateful for the partnership between AWC and Onvida, because it is easy for us to practice our skills in real life. And it's a step closer to my goal of becoming a nurse. I am looking forward to the Health Careers and Center and the impact that will have for the community. And finally, thank you to my fellow Student Government Association. Thank you for, Thank you for trusting me and serving alongside me. And to the students, each of you with your own story, your own struggles, and your own dream. Thank you for allowing me to represent you. And you are the reason we lead, and you are the reason we build. And finally, I would like to thank my Vice President, Dr. Corr, for this past 10 years, for this past 10 years for serving here at Arizona Western College. And thank you to the staff and faculty for being part of the transformation. I came here unsure, and I'm leaving here more confident and more prepared, and more certain that when opportunity meets determinations, lives change. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you everyone for showing up.
Folks, thanks for coming. I'm absolutely humbled to serve as the 9th president of Arizona Western College. It truly has been a great decade to be a Matador. We could not have accomplished all that we have without your support. We do have some pretty cool commemorative T-shirts that if you want to head to my right, your left, and see what they have. Again, thanks for coming, taking time out of your busy schedule. Again, I'm honored to be president, and have a great rest of the day. It truly is a great day. All right.